All right, so we have a lot of domestic abuse or assault stuff going on in the news in our hip hop family. The first one is Tory Lanez comes out and apologizes for shooting Meg da Stallion in the foot. Shout out to Meg. Glad that she's all right. No major foot damage and etc. So, as Mama Steve here is our less melanated friend for the show, what do you know about this Tory Lanez and Meg da Stallion part? And do we need to fill you in? And what do you think about a guy that shoots a woman in the foot and then apologizes? Is that a successful way to finish that situation or what?
You don't need to fill me in, although I don't know who he is. But I did read the article, and his excuse was, I was just too drunk. Oh, honey, there is no excuse for that. I read that. I was like, you're trying to use alcohol as an excuse for your firearm usage.
Yes, yeah.
No. Lock him up, throw away the key.
Ooh.
Seriously, because it could have been so much worse.
True.
It hit her in the foot, and now, that's bad, but it could have been so much worse. Could have cost her life. He could have hit a major artery in her leg. She could have, that...
Lost her foot.
Exactly. Lost her life.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's no excuse, sir. No. I don't forgive him for that. No. Because you should never use... One, this is the prime example of someone using alcohol as an excuse for something, and it's wrong. It's very wrong. No.
What you got, DJ?
I have mad disrespect
Man,
for whoever this
fully
guy
pronunciated
is.
the word too. Like, what you got, DJ?
Yeah, it's just a sad situation, unfortunate situation. And today, after viewing the footage, not the footage of the shooting, of course they didn't have that on camera, but the incident was reported to the authorities, to the cops, and the cops were behind the vehicle at gunpoint with guns drawn, and asked them to get out of the vehicle. This is all on TMZ.
Oh wow! Okay.
Oh, good lord.
So you see Megan da Stallion get out the vehicle with her shot foot, backing up and dragging that foot like it's a like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's clearly injured.
Like it's a war wound, and you see the blood on the cement.
Oh my goodness!
She's dragging the foot. And I was just like, blown away by that. I was like, wow. And that was just, it's just an eye-opening, situation. And very unfortunate. And I was just too drunk. It's just unacceptable.
No.
It's completely unacceptable. Like, that shouldn't even have been an excuse.
Right.
You should have just apologized and say how, terribly sorry you are for whatever happened. But I'm just too drunk. That just made it worse. I was just too drunk. That just made the whole situation.
I feel like Meg should have transformed into a gun. No, I'm joking. That's all. Sometimes people call her Megatron the Stallion. So that was a bad joke. That was inappropriate, guys.
That was a bit extreme.
Yeah, that was bad. I took a low blow on that one because I love Meg. So I don't want to play with that. But yeah, the apology. It's too little, too late. And he didn't have the decency to do the whole celebrity thing of, I have a problem and I'm going to seek counseling and this was he didn't even do that route to be just like, I'm going to seek counseling and I need help and this was unacceptable, blah, blah. Like, he was just like, oh, man, that's my fault. My bad. I was drunk. My bad, man. Like,
yes.
So that was just crazy. But going to another guy who hasn't not really apologized but is getting accusations, Joe Budden.
Before you get into that, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
I got one question for y'all in regards to the Tory Lanez and Megan da Stallion incident. Should Tory turn himself in, or should Megan da Stallion
press
charges for felony assault with a firearm?
Oh, you gonna put me in too hard. I'm gonna let Mama Steve go first.
Either or, there can't be both.
Yeah,
I guess it could be both.
I think Meg should press charges. What he did was wrong on so many different levels. You don't play around with firearms, especially when you're drunk. You don't play with firearms at all. But what he did was irresponsible, and he intentionally caused harm to a woman. So I think she should press charges. And I think if he wants to be the gentleman about it and he should do the right thing, I think he does need to turn himself in.
Ooh.
Seriously.
You got me in a rock and a hard place here.
Okay, let me just state this one thing.
Okay.
Abusive relationships, people that have stated they're in abusive relationships, usually it starts if the guy, hits the woman and then he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I will never do it again. And then he continues to do it. And then she becomes in denial, like, oh, well, he was under a lot of stress. Or, oh, well, he was just drunk.
It's not excuses.
It's the same thing. What makes you think he won't do it again?
All right.
And this time it doesn't hit her foot. So no,
it'd be a lot worse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she needs to go in that police station and be like, lock him up.
First thing is like, man, why you dating a short dude? We know how short dudes get down, man.
They were dating?
Yeah, that's why they supposedly.
My God.
And Tory Lanez like 5'4", so you can't be dating no short dude.
That doesn't match.
Yeah. That's the first problem. But okay, all right. I'm in a rock and a hard place because y'all know how I am about black folks, and I think the system is nowhere where you want to put a black person, no matter if he's a celebrity, rich, or he broke and he poor. Tory should turn himself in and hope that he gets leniency because he turned himself in and because Meg is not pressing charges.
Correct.
Hopefully they'll give him something because I feel like, once you get a black guy in the system, it never works out well. It's never no redemption. It's no rag to riches. It always turns bad. It always looks bad. As far as Meg pressing charges, Meg's a real one. And we know she didn't even want to talk about the incident. It's just that people started coming for her neck so much. That's when she told everybody that, this joker shot me. She didn't even want to mention that. She was just going to let it ride and do whatever. So as far as Meg pressing charges, I think my personal opinion is naturally yes. But I think she understands the responsibility of being a black woman with a black man, and what we just talked about, putting another black man in the system. Not excusing his options and his choices. He made choices. He made terrible choices. But I think she understands that piece too, and I think that's why she's not. But she probably should. Like this is something that needs more. It needs something more than just an apology and everybody goes home. Like an apology and everybody goes home as if like I stepped on the back of your shoe while we're walking by accident. Hey, sorry about that, and we go home. Yeah, he like you guys mentioned before, he could have did a lot worse, a lot more damage, and an apology and just still living my regular lifestyle is not acceptable for what he did in our society and the rules that we built for it. So
it's a lot more complicated.
Yeah.
It's very complicated.
And I hate sending a brother to jail. I know opinion wise, but
I'll make it less complicated for you. Doesn't matter what race you are.
Yeah.
You cause harm to a woman,
I agree.
bodily harm to a woman. You
Right.
shot someone.
I agree.
Yeah.
You shot your girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't care what race you are. You go to jail.
And again, I don't disagree. I said I'm in a rock and a hard place because I know what the system does to our people, and I know that and let's just be the race component that I'm looking at is that let's say this were two white people and they were rich. I feel like that white man is going to get a lot less time and a lot less criticism for the action compared to the black man. And that's where I'm stuck in a rock and a hard place with it. Not saying that he shouldn't be punished.
Yeah.
I'm saying that I know the punishment's going to be way worse than if it would have been someone else. And that's where I'm like, ugh.
Yeah. I agree with you, and that's why they need to fix that.
Right.
It needs to, doesn't matter what race you are. You shoot someone, you shoot a woman.
Okay.
You got to face the consequences. There can't be any leniency because you white and you have money.
Right.
No, you're causing bodily harm to someone.
But the underlying fact that you mentioned is fixed, and it shit ain't fixed yet.
But you know what? I'm
a
firm believer that it is something that will be worked on soon.
We hope so.
Think about people. We're in the equality movement now. Think about it. Yeah. Everyone's calling for change. You think at some point, I'm a firm believer that they're gonna hear us, and I say us. I know I'm white, and I do acknowledge white privilege, but I am all for the equality movement, and I really hope that they make a change.
Absolutely,
I am for that.
So what we got on Joe? Also a couple women came out and said that Joe be assaulting them. I think Tahiri came out and mentioned it, and then I think they pulled a recording from his ex-fiance, Sin Santana, speaking to her friend about Joe being possibly abusive. Now, Sin hasn't come out and said that. A friend's recording of her and their conversation came out about that. And so, besides, because we don't know the allegations, the biggest thing is everybody's talking about, this is funny that now he's shitting on Spotify. Hey, Spotify, we love you. We're on your programming. So, if you want to replace them with us, we won't be mad. We just will, take it on the chin. So
we nice folk.
Yeah, right. But they're saying that basically because he started shitting on Spotify and iHeart, that all of a sudden all this stuff started just creeping to the surface magically when he's trying to negotiate better deals with other companies. It's kind of like the whole, Bill Cosby was trying to buy NBC and they got Bill Cosby on that, which is just conspiracy theory nonsense. But do we think iHeart and Spotify are setting up Joe Budden? Do we think this is the case of Joe Budden getting set up? What you got, DJ?
Oh, they're definitely coming for his neck. They're coming for the throat, man. That's obvious, I can't knock him for it, Unfortunately, if he would have kept himself out of trouble and kept his hand on women, if those allegations are true, then he wouldn't be in this situation. Huh? If he was still with the company and they just let bygones be bygones and overlooked it, it may probably be all good. But that's just what happens when you know what I'm saying?
All right.
You take the wrong route.
All right. Well, we're gonna go to Law and Order, Mama Steve. Yeah. Do you think it's a conspiracy theory to take down Joe Budden?
I don't even know who Joe Budden is.
Ooh! pump it up! Hey,
I don't know who this guy is.
He's a rapper.
I know, retired rapper. He let you know quick he retired.
Oh, does he?
On the show, he let you know quick he retired.
So nobody care whether you retired or unretired. Joe Budden? Really?
But let me get this straight.
Let me make sure I let you know. Joe, my dude. I like the Joe Budden podcast. I love it. I think it's great podcasting. I think it's hilarious. I want to make that known before all the people come for me and be like, damn, Jason, how you shit on Joe? And that's your man's. I love Joe Budden. I love the Joe Budden podcast.
Joe Budden was retired 15 years ago, bro.
DJ Tunez said that, Joe. That wasn't Jason.
After Pump It Up, he was retired.
So he's got his own podcast because he's out of money. He's not getting any more royalties from his past career.
Well, he said he makes about $18K a year from Pump It Up.
Okay, but what else?
Okay,
well,
shout out to Joe Budden.
We don't know what other income he's getting, so I assume that's his only income.
Damn. Low blow.
Yeah, it was a chopping. We say kicking in Dixon clicks.
But you want my opinion on this matter?
Yeah, do you think it's conspiracy?
Well, see, conspiracy theories take a long time for me to explain, and I have to really think about it. But I will say this. What you do in the past and it becomes public will affect you in the future. So if you did this and the information is readily available for the masses, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, but in regards to conspiracy theories, please don't ask me about conspiracy theories right now. I will go on for hours about conspiracy theories because I will think about them, analyze them, write them down, and that will be a whole nother maybe like 2 to 3 podcasts. I'm just saying. But you know what? If what you did in the past and it comes back to bite you, that's your issue, not Spotify's. Yep. Spotify's just doing their thing, trying to make sure that they put out quality content, and they want to make it not family friendly because some podcasts are a little risque. Poderotica, but
that's on Spotify.
Is it on?
I don't know. I've never even heard of this Poderotica. What is that?
Oh, it's people that.
I'm doing this for research, guys. I don't really want to know. I'm just doing it for research, so you guys want to know.
Poderotica are these like 3 podcasters, and they read out the Harry Potter fan fiction.
Oh.
And then they do commentary on it.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure that thing be turned up too.
Oh, it is.
Really?
I'm pretty sure because they always that fanfiction always has like Harry banging Hermione and like it's just.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure that thing probably turned up.
It is. They have a large audience.
Yeah.
They basically will find the fan fictions, the most crazy ones, and then they just read them on the podcast, and then they do commentary in between, like, what kind of mess is this?
Wow.
Whatever
sells.
Matters.
Yeah, whatever sells.
Whatever it takes, bro.
Shout out to Poderotica.
Poderotica.
My wife loves Harry Potter too,
Doing
so
your thing.
maybe this would be her. What was it? Gray. What's the
Gray's 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah. Maybe that's be her 50 Shades of Grey.